Welcome back. This is episode 6, where emotions run high and the consequences of last episode's decisions come crashing down. With Yeondu facing heartbreak, Yeol proving he'll go to any lengths for his friends, and Suah pulling the strings in the shadows, everyone's limits are being tested. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive back into the drama. Yeondu chases after the group of teachers and, ignoring everyone else, directs her words to teacher Yang. With her voice trembling and eyes brimming with emotion, she tells him she's finally found the second thing she needed, an adult who will stand by her no matter what. She bows deeply, gratitude etched across her face. Determined, Yeondu runs to catch the departing PD, ready to reveal the truth. From a distance, Yeol and Ha-jun watch closely. In the reporter's van, the PD reassures her that her interview will make a difference in helping teacher Yang. Hesitantly, she admits that while their cheerleading started as a ploy for building specs, it has grown into something meaningful through their collective effort. Yeol and Ha-jun approach as the PD wraps up. When they confirm the interview took place, their anger flares. Yeol sharply points out that the PD should have denied any connection to Yeondu to protect her identity, as required by law. He warns that if Yeondu faces consequences, he'll take legal action. Later, Ha-jun tries to walk past Yeondu, but she stops him. With a warm smile, she invites him to share her massive stash of gummy bears. After a moment's hesitation, he joins her. As they sit together, Yeondu confides in him about the interview and her hopes of helping teacher Yang. Sensing Ha-jun's unspoken concerns, she offers him a few specially chosen gummy bears, showing her care in the smallest gestures. The next day, Yeondu bursts into the staff room, searching for teacher Yang, confused about why her interview is missing from the broadcast schedule. Teacher Im observes smugly as Yang, equally shocked, makes a desperate call to the PD. The PD dismisses him, saying higher authorities had the story pulled and warns Yang to tread carefully. Yeondu, standing nearby, overhears everything. Meanwhile, teacher Im cozies up to Principal Choi over tea, receiving praise for catching Yang in a bind. Im, ever eager to please, suggests they fire Yang outright, but Choi stresses the need for a legitimate reason. The Council of Horrible Moms also celebrates their success in using their influence to bury the story. Suah's mom insists they can't stop there, arguing that teacher Yang must face serious consequences for nearly exposing their schemes. Instructor Nam interrupts teacher Yang's thoughts to remind him that today's mission involves choosing a team captain. Excited, she hurries off, leaving him to prepare alone. In the Baekho room, Yeondu lingers in a slump. Yeol notices her mood and approaches with his usual playful grin. Turning serious, he assures her that the broadcast being cancelled was likely for the best, as it could have put her in danger. Finally, the students showcase their cheerleading skills. The Real King kids, under Suah's leadership, execute a flawless routine. Yeondu's group, while less polished, puts on a spirited performance that prioritizes fun and inclusivity. The room erupts in applause, and instructor Nam praises both groups for their efforts. Nam announces that the competition routine will combine Suah's complex moves with Yeondu's creative energy. However, she criticizes Suah for excluding Dongjai, emphasizing that cheerleading is a sport that thrives on teamwork. With that, Nam declares Yeondu the winner and the new team captain, to the delight of the Real King members. Suah retreats to the bathroom, sick with frustration. Her mother's scathing criticism echoes in her mind as she overhears her minions, Han Jae-young and Na Yeon, discussing the news that teacher Yang is the whistleblower. Bursting out of the stall, she confronts them, her anger now focused on Yang. Later, in her private session with director Lee, Suah vents about Yang's interference, blaming him for nearly ruining her future. Lee reassures her that the adults have things under control. Suah secretly overhears Yang making another phone call, where he insists he'll expose the school's corruption, even if it costs him his job. At practice, Jae-young struggles with a thigh stand, and instructor Nam asks Yang to assist as a backspotter. Yang carefully catches Jae-young when she stumbles, but she screams, accusing him of inappropriate contact. The room falls silent as Yang stammers an apology, clearly shaken. Suah watches with a calculating gaze. Afterwards, Jae-young confesses to Na Yeon that she doesn't believe Yang meant to touch her inappropriately. Suah, however, seizes the moment, persuading them to use the incident to teach Yang a lesson. The three girls report the incident to teacher Im, who is appalled. Their testimony prompts immediate demands from the parents for Yang's dismissal. Principal Choi coldly challenges Yang, suggesting he's accusing the girls of fabricating their claims. Instructor Nam intervenes, defending Yang by explaining the physical nature of cheerleading and emphasizing that his actions likely prevented a serious injury. Despite her efforts, Choi assures the furious parents that the Ministry of Education will investigate the matter thoroughly. That evening, Yang discovers an article online accusing him of misconduct. As the scandal spreads, Yeon-do reads the same article in her dorm, horror-stricken by the accusations against the teacher she trusts. The next day, Teacher Yang enters his classroom, visibly burdened by the judgmental stares of his students. Their virtual group chat buzzes with cruel gossip about him. Yeon-do, seething with anger, shoots up from her seat, but before she can speak, Yeol stops her with a firm hand on her shoulder. Giving her a subtle signal to stay quiet, he strides to the front of the class. Facing his peers, Yeol confronts them with calm defiance. "Did any of you actually see Teacher Yang do what he's accused of?" His voice is steady yet cutting. He singles out the 3 girls involved, systematically dismantling their claims, and accuses them of lying to protect their academic standing at the expense of a good teacher's career. Sua attempts a snide remark, but Yeol immediately turns his sharp wit on her. With dark amusement, he mocks her transparent scheming, telling her that she always gets caught because her plans are so blatantly obvious. Her smugness falters under his piercing gaze. After class, Yeon-do catches up to Yeol, impressed by his boldness. She asks what compelled him to stand up for Teacher Yang when he previously seemed indifferent. Yeol shrugs, replying, "Because if I didn't, you would have." He pauses, then adds, "And you wouldn't care about the consequences. You'd end up hurt, and I can't let that happen." His words leave her puzzled, and as he walks away, his knowing smile lingers in her mind. Later, Yeon-do seeks out Teacher Yang and reassures him not to take the class's words to heart. She tells him that not everyone believes the rumors and that many, like her, still stand by him. Yang thanks her but gently scolds her for getting involved. When she hesitates, she explains that she has her mom and friends for support, but he seems to face these challenges alone. Touched, he admits her support means a lot, though it embarrasses him slightly. Before leaving, she turns back to cheer him on one last time. The school soon posts an official notice of Teacher Yang's dismissal. Yeon-do stares at it in disbelief. Yeol, though sympathetic, tells her that this outcome was inevitable, but Yeon-do refuses to accept it, insisting it's not over yet. At lunch, Yang finds himself ostracized, with students avoiding him and clearing tables around him. Just as his isolation feels unbearable, Yeon-do sets her tray down across from him. Dong-jae follows suit, taking a seat beside her, and moments later, Yeol and Ha-jun join in. Their silent show of solidarity warms the awkward moment, turning it into a quiet yet powerful statement. Determined to fight for Yang's reinstatement, Yeon-do and Dong-jae work on a petition. Yeol casually drops a thick stack of completed forms onto her desk, his quiet way of contributing. However, Principal Choi discovers their efforts and swiftly orders Teacher IM to track down the instigators. Days later, Yeon-do checks with the ministry, only to find no record of her petition. Even Yeol is stunned by the blatant sabotage. A formal meeting follows with the ministry officials, Principal Choi, Teacher Yang, and the horrible moms. Under immense pressure, Jae-young reluctantly confirms the allegations, claiming she felt angry and humiliated. Yang, filled with sorrow, takes full responsibility, stating that as the adult in the situation, he failed to protect his students. Principal Choi seizes the moment to paint his resignation as a necessity. Before leaving, Yang offers Jae-young one final heartfelt apology. Outside the meeting, Yeon-do and her friends wait anxiously. Yang approaches them with a bittersweet smile, expressing regret that he won't see them become seniors. His words weigh heavily on the group, who feel powerless to change his fate. Privately, Jae-young confesses to her mother that Yang never harassed her. Overwhelmed with guilt, she wants to retract her statement. Her mother shuts her down coldly, warning that the truth must remain buried to protect their family's reputation and the school's standing. Frustrated and remorseful, Jae-young turns to Sua, accusing her of orchestrating the incident. Sua dismisses her complaints, pointing out that a sexual harassment charge was always going to end in dismissal. She ridicules Jae-young for being naive, reminding her that personal feelings are irrelevant when specs are at stake. Sua retreats to the Bae-ko room, only to be confronted by Dong-jae, who begins practicing alone. Her frustration boils over as she accuses him of silently judging her for getting him kicked off the basketball team. Dong-jae calmly asks if she's trying to apologize. Flustered, she denies it. "Then don't," he replies simply, returning to his stretches. His composure leaves her grappling with unspoken guilt. Meanwhile, Ha-jun finds Yeol sitting alone outside and tells him that Yeon-do was crying earlier. Yeol sighs, admitting he had warned her about trusting adults. Ha-jun counters that even though their efforts failed, he's glad they tried to help Yang. Gathering his resolve, Ha-jun announces he's leaving to handle something important. Ha-jun confronts his father, a powerful hospital director, and begs him to intervene in Yang's dismissal. Dropping to his knees, he promises to meet any condition in exchange for his help. His father coldly refuses, revealing that he had already helped cover up the petition. Crushed, Ha-jun leaves, haunted by his father's betrayal. At school, Yeon-do hears a familiar voice call out, "Hey, ugly girl!" She turns to see her mom waving with a teasing grin. Instantly, her face lights up and they sit down to chat. Sensing her daughter's worries, Mom asks what's been weighing on her mind. Yeon-do retorts that she's just like her mom, always sticking her nose where it doesn't belong. Mom laughs, admitting it's a family trait, and the two commiserate over the trouble their personalities bring. Mom grows serious for a moment and tells Yeon-do, "Even when it leads to regret and pain, I couldn't stop myself from following my heart. I told you to stay out of it as your mom, but now I'm saying, when your heart tells you to do something, you have to do it. So don't regret it." Yeon-do's smile grows, her spirits lifting. Mom pats her on the head, reminding her, "If no one else says it, you need to tell yourself you did well." As they part, Yeon-do walks her mom to the gate, where they bump into Yeol. He mouths a question at Yeon-do, "Is that your mom?" And she nods. Immediately, Yeol greets her mom with a bow and the sweetest smile. Mom is utterly enchanted by his charm. Once Yeol walks off, she gushes to Yeon-do, insisting she date someone like him. "How is he so adorable?" she exclaims. Yeol glances back at the two, a flicker of sadness in his expression as he observes their bond. Meanwhile, Mom returns to her cafe, still raving about Yeol's cuteness to Yeol's father. She casually asks if he plans to visit his son, given the trouble at school. "Next time," he replies nonchalantly. At cheer practice, Yeon-do struggles to focus her mind elsewhere. Instructor Nam notices and reprimands her, warning that her inattention doesn't just endanger herself, but also the team. She calls Yeon-do to the front and asks what cheerleading means to her. "It's not about standing in front of a crowd," Nam explains, "but about genuinely cheering for someone you want to give strength." The words strike a chord with Yeon-do, and understanding dawns in her eyes. Later, Yeon-do runs to teacher Yang before he leaves the school grounds, handing him a handmade invitation to the cheer team's performance. She makes him promise to come. As she leaves, she spots Jae-young and Na-yeon lingering nearby, clearly conflicted. Yeon-do confronts them, urging them to help set things right. They deny any involvement, but Yeon-do sees through their facade. "It's not entirely your fault," she tells them. "The adults wanted this outcome, but you can still fix it." Jae-young snaps, yelling that it's pointless. Yang is already gone, and nothing will change. As they walk away, Yeon-do shouts after them, "Fine! Let your guilt eat away at you while you go on living comfortably." Her words stop Jae-young in her tracks. The day of the school competition arrives, and the campus buzzes with excitement. The cheerleading team runs through their final rehearsal, though Yeon-do is conspicuously absent. Yeol finds her sitting alone, nerves etched on her face. He sits beside her and pulls out a banana milk. "Dongjae always gives you strawberry, so I figured I'd go with banana. It suits me, tall and light, like I am." His playful comment earns a laugh from her, softening the tension. Yeol's expression turns serious. "At first, I thought you were just fun and amusing, but now I get angry, worried, and scared. Because of you, Kang Yeon-do." His words hang in the air, heavy with meaning. Yeon-do, oblivious to his feelings, awkwardly apologizes, thinking she upset him. Before she can pull away, he wraps her in a firm hug. "Be strong, Kang Yeon-do," he says gently, clearly savoring the moment. The scene is cut short when Hyo-shik interrupts, forcing Yeol to let go, though he takes it in stride. Embarrassed, Yeon-do quickly escapes. The auditorium fills as students and staff gather for the competition. Yeon-do is thrilled to see teacher Yang in the audience, trying to stay inconspicuous. Yeol sidles up beside her, playfully close as usual, and the cheerleaders crowd around, excited by Yang's presence. Instructor Nam convinces Yang to sit in the front, telling him, "Once a teacher, always a teacher." Principal Choi spots him and is visibly unsettled, but the performance begins before she can act. As the cheerleading routine unfolds, the team's energy electrifies the room. The crowd erupts in applause when they finish, but the team isn't done yet. Holding up signs with cheerful messages, the students slowly flip them over, revealing a shocking confession. "We lied. Each sign exposes the truth, retracting the false charges and calling for Yang's reinstatement. The hall buzzes with murmurs, and Sua watches in stunned disbelief. Yundu steps forward and calls out, "Teach, please come back." Overwhelmed by their support, Yang's eyes fill with tears as he stands frozen, unable to speak.